In Judaism, one of the most important mitzvot is visiting the sick. The real words for this is biker holam. And it's brought down in English as visiting the sick. It's a beautiful thing. And you go like to a hospital or somebody else's house, and you visit him while he's flat on his back in a hospital bed. The word biker holam don't really mean visiting the sick. We bring that down in English as that. But biker holam means the investigation of the profane. Let me repeat that. Biker holam is the investigation of the profane. Bikra means to investigate, to look at closely. And holam comes from the root hol, same as hulan, means profane. The non-religious. So profane is like secular. In other words, when you go and visit the sick, you're investigating the profane. The person that really benefits when you visit the sick is the visitor. So if I go and visit somebody, the one that really benefits is me. Me! Not the person I'm visiting. Because I'm investigating why the guy's lying there like this. I get this same sensation when I hear these things on television now, these White House briefings on the coronavirus and the entire talk and handling of the coronavirus. First of all, it's all by doctors. Doctor, Doctor, would you answer that for me, doctor? Well, what's the doctor going to say? He's a doctor. He spent his whole life there. If he was really religious in the first place, he wouldn't become a doctor. Why? Because Rebbe Nachman of Breslov said that a doctor is the partner with the devil. Repeat. A doctor is a partner with the devil. Or I think he said the doctor is a partner with the devil. The doctor is a partner with the devil. And you know why I missed all that? So I could repeat it so many times. Because the doctor is a partner with the devil. Because when you're lying there, and how many times I've heard this, oh, doctor, save me. I don't think there should be any medical intervention with the coronavirus. I think that the people who get the coronavirus either get well by themselves, like the 99% of them, and the other 1% dies. I think that these are strategies, the viruses that come from God to, number one, limit the population. Number two, bring in now what the real answer is, how to protect. And maybe that's, for those who don't believe, is prayer. You see, prayer for me is that I'm praying for God to help. But, quite frankly, I know God helps. I don't even think I have to ask. God is providing for me. I'm Jewish. You see? God is providing for me. He provides my food every day with manna. I've seen Buddhist priests do that. They don't have any food from day to day. They walk by and people give them food. I just came back from a supermarket. People hoarding food. Hoarding it for like buying big quantities. Not for today, but for like a month. So they don't believe in God. They don't believe that their food is manna. It's the same thing that's brought down in Rebbe Nachman of Breslov, the second time I've mentioned him, that parnasa, a livelihood, is man. That you shouldn't struggle for livelihood. I don't think that the government should have closed everything. You see? I really don't. Closed all businesses. Theoretically, in a certain sense, it brought the stock market down so far 1/3. Changing the whole system. Unless we think that God did all this. And that may be. God has put me, they've got here in New York City people in lockdown in their apartments. And what does that really mean? What that really means is that I'm in my apartment. I'm in Gan Eden. Each of us is in their separate apartment, individualized. You see? Not in the group. In Gan Eden, there was only Adam and Eve. You see? Maybe Cain and Abel. See? Adam and Eve in Gan Eden. And that's actually, as you know, mine is the religion of Adam. Abraham, who's the father of the Jewish people, is a reincarnation of Adam, Gilgul. One has to go back internally into Gan Eden and to Adam. You know, I'm speaking so long here, I forgot what I said. If I made my point about the Bikur Olam. You have to investigate the medical world. And the investigation of this Olam brings you to this Olam, brings you to the spiritual world. And once you get to that spiritual world, you see, then you rely on God for everything, and there's no operations. There's no visiting doctors. If you get sick, you get sick. You get well, you get well. That brings meaning into your prayers. When you wake up in the morning, thank you for restoring my soul. When you go to bed at night, it's like you're dying. It's 1/60th of death. It makes meaning into life. It also makes meaning into my other deep, deep issues. My deep, deep issue is I think a person should die before they die. I think a person should be as if they are dead. I think a person should be dead. And only then can they live. That's the whole samurai principle, as I've made it clear and evident here. The samurai is already dead. That's why he can come and slash everybody, because they're protecting themselves. They're protecting themselves walking down the street with masks. Scared. Scared of what? They're going to die anyway. If not now, then. So this whole profane, this is the investigation of the profane. The investigation of the profane leads to spirituality, leads to relying on God. And in a certain sense, once you rely on God and know this, it's beyond the level of prayer. Beyond the level of prayer. It's an acceptance of the as is. It also, in a certain sense, reaches a level of silence. Because why am I saying this? I'm actually saying it for your benefit, not mine. Because I believe this. There's nobody else in the world that can talk 12 minutes on a subject like this if they didn't believe it. So I believe it. So what do I need to say it for? I don't. Many people went silent at the end. Maher Baba went silent for 41 years. Others have gone silent too. And many Tzaddikim, go into their rooms like this at the end. They want to talk to their Hasidim. They go silent. Comes from the word dam and atom. It's a high level. It's the like doom. It's called like. It's a high level. Dalet mem. Same as blood. When there's no response, in a verbal response, then a higher level can attach to it. You can absorb through the ear of the Shema. Silence is something to a total acceptance. This is my position. I watch the news. I'm very disappointed in everybody, in governments to shut down the American way. That's what makes it the American way. It's not necessarily my way, but it's the way of the people. Restaurants, museums, ball games, keeping them occupied so there's no revolution. And now they're going to see it's vacuous. All their activities were vacuous. Rooting for the Yankees. I'll have the chicken, yes, broiled, yes, the wing. And with that, a nice white wine maybe tonight. See? Yeah, so what goes well with that? Is that what you want to do? So this gives you the opportunity for us at Kabbalistic Solutions Oh, as you know, it's only me here. For us at Kabbalistic Solutions, this is a great opportunity that comes only once in a lifetime. It's to prove my spiritual level. You see? Prove the level that I've sacrificed my life for 40 years of study, and now it's time to manifest. So, you won't see a mask here, except if you're watching reruns of The Lone Ranger. And if you think I'm making fun of it, I am. Because I'm not scared of death, because I'm already dead. And my brother wasn't either. He didn't want to go to the doctor when he was sick. He says, I don't want to be sick. I'd rather be dead. A high level of being. Because if it was his time to die, he didn't want a doctor, putting Band-Aids on him. Then living in a bed, propped up. Some nurse or somebody bringing him, broth. These are God's methods to show you what Bicker Holam really means. Investigation of the profane. And when we investigate it, that's when we get to be real holy people that we are, and which is our potential, which, and I may say, I've already realized.